I told you, not once, not twice, over and over again. Stories, warnings, red flags, animals declining overnight, and still you trusted the syringe. Now your dog won't stand. Now your cat won't eat. Now you're asking, what went wrong? But the real question is, why did you ignore what was right in front of you? This isn't easy to hear, but it needs to be said, because behind every post, every warning, every voice trying to speak out, there was a chance to stop, a chance to question, and too many people didn't. This is about Librela. This is about Solensia. This is about Lenivia. This is about Portela. And this is about the moment people chose hope over truth, and their pets paid the price. The warnings were there. Let's stop pretending this came out of nowhere. The warnings were there. Videos, testimonials, forums filled with grieving owners, dogs that were walking, suddenly collapsing, cats that were fine, suddenly fading. People shared their stories not for attention, but to prevent someone else from going through the same nightmare. But what happened? Those warnings were brushed aside, dismissed as rare, labeled as fear-mongering, because believing the truth would mean facing something uncomfortable, that this wasn't safe. Why did people ignore IT? So why did you do it? Why would you take that risk? Because hope is powerful. Because pain is unbearable to watch. Because when your pet is suffering, you want to believe in a miracle. And that's what these drugs were sold as. Relief, comfort, a second chance. So you made a choice not out of cruelty, but out of desperation. You convinced yourselves, it won't happen to me. My pet will be fine. Those stories are just unlucky cases, but denial doesn't change reality, and hope doesn't cancel risk. The moment everything changed, and then it happened. Maybe it was subtle at first, a stumble, a change in behavior, then worse, weakness, confusion, pain, and suddenly you're searching again. But this time it's different. Now you're not looking for reassurance. You're looking for answers. And those same warnings, the ones you ignored before, now they sound painfully familiar. The hardest truth. Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. You weren't uninformed. You weren't completely in the dark. You saw the warnings. You just didn't want them to be true, because accepting them meant walking away from what felt like your pet's last hope. And that's the cruelest part of all this. You weren't trying to harm your pets. You were trying to save them. But intention doesn't erase consequence, accountability. At some point you have to stop blaming everything else, not just the companies, not just the vets, but the decision itself. Because ignoring evidence, choosing comfort over caution, that has consequences. And those consequences don't fall on you. They fall on the animals who trusted you completely. The emotional core. Your pet didn't get a say. They didn't read the warnings. They didn't weigh the risks. They just trusted you, trusted that whatever you chose would keep them safe. And that's what makes this so heavy. Because when that trust is broken, there's no way to explain it to them, no way to undo it, no way to take it back. A message to viewers. If you're watching this before making that decision, pause. Just pause. Don't rush. Don't let desperation blind you. Look deeper. Ask harder questions. Listen to the voices you're tempted to ignore, because once it's done, there's no going back. This isn't about judgment. It's about truth, because the next story, the next warning, doesn't have to be yours, but that choice is still in your hands. Signed to save. https://chng.it/v8tjfy xv7r or view to ignore. Which do you choose?